Welcome to the Data Science for Social Good final program. I'm Ben. I'm one of the technical mentors with the program, and I'll be facilitating the next hour as we hear from each of the teams on their data science project that they've been working on throughout the summer. In case you're not familiar, I want to give just a little bit of background on what is this Data Science for Social Good program. So we're a program at Stanford where this year we had 9 fellows, obviously had to conduct it remotely, and those 9 fellows are split into 3 different teams, and they've been working full-time throughout the summer on a data science project that comes from a data science organization, as you'll see. And the goals of this are really twofold. So the first goal is educational, that our fellows will grow and develop as data scientists as a result of this experience. And then the second is that, as you'll see, each of the data science projects has a significant social good component to it. So the second is then social impact. Stepping back a little bit, we're super lucky to be part of Stanford's Data Science Institute. And then we also owe a gigantic thank you to the National Science Foundation, who's provided funding that has made this program possible. So a huge acknowledgement and a thank you to the NSF for that. Turning to logistics for the next hour, I think Kiara will drop this. We put together a handout and we'll drop a link, the bit.ly DSSG final handout. It's a Google document that you can access. And then Robbie will click into it as well, and we can take a look at it together. So starting at the top, with any luck, we're in between the 10 to 10:10 right now, doing the getting started portion. The first team to present will be Thea, Robbie, and T. We'll tell you about building a network of land ownership in Kenya. Second, Seiji, David, and Sandy, identifying CAFO characteristics using satellite imagery. And then third, Michael, Veer, and Madeline will talk about their project on improving predictions for targeted human trafficking investigations in Brazil. Now, obviously, we're doing this remote, but we still hope that there's a couple of different ways for you to engage. First, we encourage you liberally to make use of the Zoom chat for questions. You can ask clarifying questions there. You can ask larger scale questions. For the clarifying questions, maybe one of the non-presenting team members will be able to actually respond in the chat. And for the more complicated questions, I'll actually choose one of them during our transition times, and I'll ask it to the team, so we at least build in one question for each team. And then the second thing is we've put together a Google form for feedback. So if you have longer thoughts or feedback that you want to get to the teams, feel free to use that Google form. It's laid out so that you can provide feedback or thoughts to one of or all 3 of the teams. There's a name and an email. You're looking at it now. There's a name and an email option there, which you can use if you think that people want to reach out to you, or feel free to provide feedback anonymously as well. So 2 ways for you to engage. Please do engage. I know the fellows are really interested in your thoughts and your questions and everything. So if you're on the fence, please do go ahead and engage. And then next, so who we are, I listed out the fellows, and you'll get to meet all of the fellows as they're presenting. But there's a number of people I want to name that are in the background of this, and they're critical to this experience. So the technical mentors, Chija, Manaz, and Mike, and myself, we're all either graduate students or postdocs at Stanford. Then we are super lucky to have the 3 faculty mentors. So Professor Bayoki, Dr. Narasimhan, and Professor Sabati have spent a ton of time and a ton of energy in supporting the fellows and in building out this program. So a huge thank you to them. And then of course, these projects come from our project partners. So you'll hear more about this, but want to name here Code for Africa, World Resources Institute, the Reg Lab at Stanford, and the Human Trafficking Data Lab at Stanford all have been just fantastic partners, and you'll see sort of the fruits of that partnership in a second. So acknowledgements, once again, thank you to the NSF for providing the funding. I had already named that. What I had not said was a huge thank you to Microsoft, who have provided significant technical resources for this program. So most of what you'll see computationally happened on Microsoft Azure, which is a huge thank you to Microsoft for making that possible. So we're very, very appreciative of that. And I also want to say a huge thank you to, this is the second year that we've run this program at Stanford. And so I want to say a huge thank you to the other DSSG programs, UW DSSG and Carnegie Mellon DSSG in particular have been incredibly supportive. They've been thought partners, they've shared resources, they, by building out really effective programs, have provided inspiration to us. So a huge thank you to UW DSSG and CMU DSSG. Really, really appreciate it. What we're doing here would not be possible for not their effort. All right, I think that's all from me for now. I will hand it over to our first team. So building a network of land ownership in Kenya. I believe Thea is the first presenter from that team.